Welcome back. I'm Monica Coleman. Yesterday's performances by both candidates are now being examined. President Joe Biden struggling throughout the 90-minute event. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump deflected questions and made several false claims. Here's how some voters on both sides of the aisle reacted right after the debate. You briefly heard there Newsom being asked if he would replace Biden on the presidential ticket, which he declined, saying he stands with the president. Meanwhile, take a look behind me. You can see the New York Times headline. This is just one of the many headlines from a few news outlets. Biden supporters had hoped last night's debate would calm worries that the 81-year-old was too old for another term, but this has appeared to do the opposite. Most families go for the carnival rides, food, and entertainment, but for the first time, some people will be going to the fair to buy and consume cannabis. ABC 10's Candace Red is live at Cal Expo with more on this story. Hey, Candace. Well, Candace, I do have a question. Can you bring your own weed into the cannabis lounge? Okay, now we know. If you want to enjoy, you know where to go. If you do not, you know where not to go. Candace, thank you. Good sign for potential home buyers. For the fourth straight week, the average long-term mortgage rate took a slight dip. The benchmark 30-year rate slid to 6.28% from 6.32% the previous week.
Able to get reunified, right?
Yes, that was also the Unification Center. And last night we saw Devin there all night as people were being reunited with their children, little kids telling their parents that they had to hide for an hour and 45 minutes, which can be a very long time, not just for a little kid, but for anybody, especially when there's an active shooter on the grounds in a place where they're supposed to be safe. And Candace, we know Nikki Haley is expected to speak today as well. She was a last-minute addition, saying yes on Sunday after Trump was almost assassinated. So we'll be curious to see what she has to say after them being really big rivals when they were both running for that nomination. The FBI issuing a new bulletin in the wake of the assassination attempt on former President Trump. It warns of possible violence at election-related events. It also reveals that on the day of the Trump rally, the shooter, Thomas Crooks, purchased 50 rounds of ammunition from a gun shop in his hometown. Candace, we'll check in with Robin a little bit to see if maybe we can use that Delta breeze to cool down the house today and not have to turn on the AC at all. Okay, thank you so much for that report. Amazon Prime Day is here. While shoppers are busy swiping and clicking, experts are warning scammers are getting busy too. The Better Business Bureau warning everyone. The man who allegedly escaped from prison while helping a fire crew has been recaptured. State corrections officials say this week, 2 Sacramento City Council members announced a plan to hold business owners accountable for stolen or abandoned shopping carts, but not everyone is happy about it. ABC 10's Roxana Elias explains why there are mixed emotions. Today, 9 first-time home-buying families, including 31 children, received the keys to their brand-new affordable homes. The homes located in South Sacramento is the first of its kind in the area. The news just in out of the courtroom in Davis on the accused stabbing suspect. What the court findings show. What's next for him? A live report next at 11.
Most importantly, it is finally playoff time.
I know, we waited so long, almost 2 decades to be at this very moment, from Natomas now to downtown. We'll talk about that journey from Arco Arena to the Golden One Center. But first, talk to us about the forecast, Brendan. What can we expect? In other news, retail theft is something that's impacting all of us, raising the price of everyday items for people like you and me. According to the National Retail Federation, 67% of businesses report seeing repeat offenders. ABC 10's Devin Truby spoke with Sacramento County officials who are getting more and more frustrated. Okay, so listen to this. Wendy's is set to test surge pricing. So the cost of your burger would change depending on the time of the day. So $11.25, it may be less. $11.26, may change again.
12 o'clock, double the price.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the details. Who came out ahead in the first presidential debate? Democrats rallied behind Biden despite concerns over his performance, while Republicans claim a victory. We have what's next in the race for the White House. But first, good morning, Northern California. Welcome to a new day. I'm Monica Coleman. Let's take a look at your weather and traffic with Brendan Minchef. Hey, Brendan. Many Americans are waking up with a fresh take on the presidential race. President Joe Biden kicked off the debate with a raspy voice and at times struggled to finish his thoughts, while former President Donald Trump drew on a long list of lies from everything from abortion to January 6th. ABC's Perry Russom starts off our coverage with a recap of the historic night. Some Democrats are now calling for Biden to step aside and let someone else run. Former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang being one of them. Behind closed doors, several other Democrats are feeling the same. 5:06 is your time. We have the latest development in the Mahaney Park murder case. The new report is shedding light on what led up to the 33-hour manhunt that left Roseville and Rockland on edge last year. We've known how murder suspect Eric Abril escaped from Sutter Roseville Medical Center, but now, thanks to the Placer County Grand Jury, we are learning specific details about what the sheriff deputies assigned to guard him was doing in the days and hours before the escape. ABC 10's Garchpaul Sangha has the new revelations. The report says the deputy violated sheriff's office policies. The updated sheriff's policy after the escape states there must be a team of 2 officers when transporting inmates, no matter what their status is. 3 people were arrested in Stockton for a deadly shooting earlier this month on West Charter Way. There are mixed feelings right now among PG&E customers after the utility company announced it's temporarily reducing electric rates by 9%. PG&E says the reduction is possible because the utility finished paying off some costs, including wildfire protection and prevention. ABC 10's Roxana Elias explains who will benefit from the discount and for how long. The reduction is expected to last through the summer. If you have any questions about your bill or being included in the decrease, you can call the number on your screen. That's 1-800-PG&E-5000. We also have that information on our website. It's time to go around town where we shine the spotlight on one of our amazing communities. Today we are checking out Modesto to highlight what the city has to offer. ABC 10's Marcus Allen is live in downtown Modesto to give us a look at what we can expect this morning. Okay, tell me where you're at and who's with you. And I believe it, Modesto is one of the largest cities in Stanislaus County, but I do have to ask you a question, Mark, before you go. For somebody who plans to go to Modesto this weekend, what would be the best day planner? The National Transportation Safety Board announced it has sanctioned troubled plane maker Boeing, alleging the company gave unauthorized investigative details to the media about that door plug blowout on a passenger jet earlier this year. Okay, my big question is, how do we get our hands on some of that merch? Do you have to just go to the game? Can you buy online? Because that was some really cool gear. Turning to your national news, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled hospitals in Idaho must allow emergency abortions when a woman's health is at risk, at least for now. This is despite the state's near total abortion ban. Okay, let's talk about the weather. Brendan, you've been keeping an eye on it because things are heating up.
Yep.
And you know how I feel about the hot weather. So
this is true. Well, I know you like it a lot better than the cold weather
yes,
in the wintertime.
True. Brendan, you know me well. That is true. That is true. I'm hard to
We've worked together for a couple of years now. I know what weather Monica Coleman likes.
Let's talk dollars and cents. The truck brand has rammed its way to the top of the annual J.D. Power Initial Quality Study. The report, which tracks problems with vehicles right after they are sold. Welcome back. I'm Monica Coleman. Yesterday's performances by both candidates are now being examined. President Joe Biden struggling throughout the 90-minute event. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump deflected questions and made several false claims. Here's how some voters on both sides of the aisle reacted right after the debate. A lot of the reaction from that debate focusing on President Biden's age. At times, Biden lost his train of thought or spoke with a soft, raspy voice. That was something Governor Gavin Newsom had to confront when asked by reporters. Take a listen. You briefly heard there Newsom being asked if he would replace Biden on the presidential ticket, which he declined, saying he stands with the president. Meanwhile, take a look behind me. You can see the New York Times headline. This is just one of the many headlines from a few news outlets. Biden supporters had hoped last night's debate would calm worries that the 81-year-old was too old for another term, but this has appeared to do the opposite. As for the former president, despite making several false claims, at ABC 10, we stand for you. So the verified team was following along, fact-checking claims made by both candidates. Casey Decker has what we found. Your time is 5:38. Let's talk some hot weather hacks. With hot temperatures on the way, we are all looking for ways to beat the heat. So here's a tip for staying cool on these scorching days. If temperatures cool down at night, energy experts recommend opening your windows on opposite sides of your home. California voters will now get to decide on a proposal to ban involuntary servitude as a punishment for a crime. The state legislature approved a proposal to. We are continuing to go around town in Modesto this morning. We're highlighting many of the amazing things the city has to offer. ABC 10's Marcus Allen is live in downtown Modesto to give us another look. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Okay. The multi-talented, always extraordinary Marcus Allen. Thank you. Turning to your sports news now, the second round of the NBA draft wrapped up yesterday, but not before the Sacramento Kings shook things up a bit. ABC 10's Kevin John joins us now with more. But, you know, I do have a bone to pick with you, Brendan.
Uh-oh.
We got to go back to LeBron James and Bronny. Y'all didn't hear, but he's not supporting our guys.
Well, I mean,
you're
support the Kings, right? The Kings, the best team in California recently.
You can love the Kings and still support LeBron and his son.
I mean, it's true. I mean, the better the Lakers do, the better it is for the league as a whole and for LeBron James. And it'll be fun to see.
It's going to be so
both
fun
of them
to
play
watch.
together.
Must-watch television.
It'll be must-watch television when the Kings beat them in 7 next spring.
All right.
So.
You heard it from Brendan Show. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back. It's 6 o'clock.